All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about a revolution, but it's not some far-off sci-fi future. It's already happening in our schools, right now. This is about the fundamental rewiring of education, and it's all being powered by artificial intelligence. And believe me, this is way more than just new gadgets in the classroom. It's a total shift in how we teach, how we learn, and maybe even what it means to be smart.
To really get a sense of just how massive this is, let's start with a number: $20 billion. Just let that sink in. That's the projection for the AI and education market by 2027. To put that in perspective, that's more money than the entire NFL makes in a year. So yeah, this isn't some small, niche trend, it's an absolute economic tidal wave.
Now, what's really wild about this isn't just the final number, it's the speed. I mean, look at this jump, from under $4 billion to $20 billion in just 5 years. That's a growth rate of over 45% every single year. The key takeaway here is that this isn't a slow burn, it's an explosion, and it's time we understood exactly what's lighting the fuse. Okay, so let's zoom in from that huge number and talk about what really matters: the individual student. You know, for decades, the holy grail of education has always been personalized learning. But how on earth do you do that for millions of kids at the same time? Well, the answer, it turns out, is AI. It's the tech that might finally get us past the old one-size-fits-all model of education.
And this slide right here, it just nails what we mean by personalization. Your standard textbook might break a subject down into, say, 3,000 concepts. But an AI system, like Squirrel AI in China, can map over 10,000 unique knowledge points for a single subject like middle school math. That incredible level of detail, that granularity, lets it find a student's exact knowledge gaps with almost surgical precision.
So how does it do that? Well, the engine running all this is something called adaptive learning. And it's actually a pretty simple idea. It's just technology that can adjust the difficulty and the content of a lesson in real time. If you're stuck on a concept, it dials it back and gives you an easier problem. If you're just cruising through the material, it ramps up the difficulty to keep you challenged. It's like having a dynamic, responsive learning partner. But does it actually work? Well, the early results are pretty amazing. Studies are showing that with this kind of AI-tailored instruction, students can get to the same learning outcomes, but in 30% less time. Think about what that means. What used to take a full 10 months of school could now, potentially, be learned in just 7. That frees up so much time for deeper learning, for the arts, for whatever comes next. Okay, but what about the teachers? Is the goal here to replace them? Absolutely not. The best way to think about this is AI as a co-pilot, not an autopilot. It's a tool that's designed to augment a teacher's incredible skills and, maybe most importantly, give them back their most precious resource: time. And you don't have to take my word for it. This quote from a school superintendent really gets to the heart of the matter. It's not just about being more efficient. It's about cutting down on all that administrative drudgery that leads to burnout. It's about letting teachers get back to doing what they love, actually mentoring and inspiring students. So, how much time are we really talking about? Well, according to a Gallup survey, teachers who are using these AI tools are saving, on average, 5.9 hours every single week. Now, that might not sound like a ton at first, but add that up over a whole school year, and that's like getting 6 full weeks of your life back. Imagine what a teacher could do with an extra 6 weeks. So where exactly is all this found time coming from? Well, it breaks down into a few key areas. First, AI can help draft lesson plans, worksheets, even slideshows in literally seconds. Second, it can totally streamline grading for things like quizzes and even give some initial feedback on essays. And third, and this is a big one, it can help draft those professional, empathetic emails to parents, a task that can be super stressful and time-consuming.
Okay, let's zoom out again, because the impact of AI isn't just happening inside the classroom walls. It's being used to make the entire operational side of a school district, the whole system, smarter, more efficient, and way more responsive.
And I want you to think about something that sounds super simple but is actually a logistical nightmare: a school bus route. For a big school district, it is a massive puzzle. You've got thousands of students, hundreds of different stops, dozens of buses. And if you get it wrong, you're wasting fuel, kids are late, and parents are, well, not happy. So what happens when you throw a powerful AI at this problem? One Colorado school district did just that, and the results were stunning. They saved over $500,000 in a single year, all from creating more efficient routes that use fewer buses and fewer drivers. And here's the part that really matters. The superintendent pointed out that those savings, that money from the back office, helped protect the jobs of 10 teachers who might have been cut because of budget problems. It's a perfect example of how administrative AI can have a direct, incredibly positive impact on the front lines of education.
And trust me, bus routes are just the tip of the iceberg. AI is also being used for things like building those insanely complex master schedules for high schools, predicting how many students are going to enroll next year, creating early warning systems to flag students who might be falling behind, and even answering routine parent questions 24/7 with chatbots.
So if AI is changing how we learn and how we run our schools, then it has to change what we learn too. This brings us to the biggest question of all. How do we prepare students for a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a totally ubiquitous part of their lives and their work?
And what this timeline shows is that this is a truly global movement. It's not just happening in one country. You've got Harvard Business School making ChatGPT mandatory, then you jump over to Australia, where they're rolling out AI co-pilots to an entire school system, and then you have China and India launching these massive, nationwide mandates for AI education. The race is officially on.
And this all leads to a really critical pivot in focus. See, as AI starts to handle more of the routine stuff, the memorization, the calculations, the purpose of education has to shift. It pivots to cultivating these uniquely human skills, the ability to think critically, to be creative, to collaborate with others, and to navigate really complex ethical questions. These are the skills that are going to have the most value in a world full of AI.
Which leaves us with one final and kind of provocative thought to chew on. If an AI can answer any question we ask, solve any equation we give it, and write any essay we need, what then is the purpose of education? Maybe it's to help us answer the most important question of all. In a world where AI knows everything, what does it truly mean to be human?